Today I'm going to be reviewing the NIV Women's Devotional Bible, and this recently was released from Zondervan. My copy is in large print. There is a regular size font available as well. And this one, I believe, yes, this one's a size 10 font, whereas the other is a size 9, I believe. So this Bible has NIV translation. It has 260 weekday devotions and 52 weekend devotions, plus scripture readings, questions for reflection, and more. We have contributions from Johnny Erickson Tata, Elizabeth Elliott, Sheila Walsh, Anne Graham Lotz, Thelma Wells, and then others as well. There's going to be multiple reading plans, so you can use this for year after year using those different reading plans. We're going to get introductions for each book of the Bible. We're also going to have an author index, a subject index to help you locate topics easily, 2-color page design. It's a double column format. We're going to get a presentation page, 2 satin ribbon markers, and then this is a leather soft cover that I have. Mine is teal, and it is a sewn binding, so it lays flat. The NIV comfort print typeface, and then again, the print size is 10. So it comes in this pretty sleeve. I kind of wish it would have come in a box just because I think this is going to get a little bit, well, it might be a little easier to mess it up and get it broken with all the stuff that I have, all the Bibles and books, but that's okay. So, as you can see, this is the teal leather soft. I really like the pretty design on the cover there. And then the spine, we have NIV Women's Devotional Bible. Again, this pretty floral design, and then NIV Zondervan. It has perimeter stitching, and then our 2 ribbon markers are going to be in a teal and kind of a gold color here. We also have gold page gilding. This is a really pretty paste down liner with the flowers, and then our presentation page. Definitely a very beautiful Bible. I believe they're coming out or already have recently with a men's devotional Bible as well. Okay, and then we're going to have our table of contents. Welcome to the NIV Women's Devotional Bibles. This just answers a couple questions like why use a devotional Bible? What is a devotional Bible? And how do I schedule my time with God? And how do I get started? And it goes over the different features that I just read to you from the back cover. And then it talks about how the Bible is a library in itself. So it goes over the different genres, the books of the law, books of history, books of poetry, books of the prophets, and then books of history in the New Testament and letters. We get a preface. And then we get into the Old Testament. Each book is going to have an introduction. So you're going to get the author, the audience, date, setting, and a verse to remember, and then just a little more information about the book here. As I said before, this is a double column layout in a 10-point font. The headings and the chapter numbers are in kind of a navy blue color. You can see that here. And then throughout, you're going to get devotions, as this is a devotional Bible. So they go by days of the week. This one's Monday, and you're going to get a verse. This one is Genesis 1:27. You're going to get some reflection questions, and I like that they do this. There's related readings, so you can read other scripture to go along with your verse that goes with the devotional. And then there's a little quote here, and then over here you get the devotional itself. So this would be great for a Bible in a year plan if you're reading the Bible in a year, or if you just want to take some time, maybe in the morning or evening, and do the devotionals and read the scripture that goes along with each. That would be a good purpose for this Bible as well. This is a really nice, comfortable font size. Sometimes Large print Bibles are really large and heavy. This one, not so much. Now, the font size isn't like a giant print or anything. It is only a 10, so it's not huge, but it's really comfortable to read, and it makes the Bible still a nice size to carry and use as well. So let's jump ahead a little bit here, and I will just pick a random devotional to read, just so you can kind of get an idea of what's in here. I know, like, you can see the Bible on camera, but a lot of times as I'm flipping through, it's really hard to read, like, the specific parts of the Bible that you might want to see before you purchase it. So let's just skip ahead here. Just find a random devotional. Okay, this is Job. Let's do this one. Okay, so this one is the patience of Job. And I'm not going to, well, actually, I will read the scripture that goes with it because that makes it easier to understand. So we're going to do Job 13, verses 1 through 28. So it says, "My eyes have seen all this, my ears have heard and understood it. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you, but I desire to speak to the Almighty and to argue my case with God. You, however, smear me with lies. You are worthless physicians, all of you. If only you would be altogether silent. For you, that would be wisdom. Hear now my argument. Listen to the pleas of my lips. Will you speak wickedly on God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you show him partially? Will you argue the case for God? Would it turn out well if he examined you? Could you deceive him as you might deceive a mortal? He would surely call you to account if you secretly showed partiality. Would not his splendor terrify you? Would not the dread of him fall on you? Your maxims are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of clay. Keep silent and let me speak. Then let come to me what may. Why do I put myself in jeopardy and take my life in my hands? Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance. For no godless person would dare come before him. Listen carefully to what I say. Let my words ring in your ears. Now that I have prepared my case, I know I will be vindicated. Can anyone bring charges against me? If so, I will be silent and die. Only grant me these two things, God, and then I will not hide from you. Withdraw your hand far from me and stop frightening me with your terrors. Then summon me and I will answer, or let me speak and you reply to me. How many wrongs and sins have I committed? Show me my offense and my sin. Why do you hide your face and consider me your enemy? Will you torment a windblown leaf? Will you chase after dry chaff? For you write down bitter things against me and make me reap the sins of my youth. You fasten my feet in shackles. You keep close watch on all of my paths by putting marks on the soles of my feet. So man wastes away like something rotten, like a garment eaten by moths." All right, well, that was uplifting. But anyway, if you're familiar with the book of Job, you understand kind of what's going on there with him and his suffering and how he's crying out to the Lord, and has some friends that are giving him some pretty poor advice at times, and he's kind of arguing back to that. So let's take a look at this. This is the patience of Job, and we just read the scripture that goes along with that. The key verse is Job 13:15. Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. Okay, so let's read the devotional. It says, caring for a parent with Alzheimer's disease takes what Carolyn Sherman calls the patience of Job. Carolyn and Sandy Sherman have cared for both their mothers for 10 years. For 2 of those years, the 2 older women lived at home with the Shermans. Carolyn says she prayed many times for the patience and strength to see this through. You do get irritated. You do lose it sometimes, said Carolyn. I never realized that it would take so much time and so much patience. Carolyn went on to say that she had prayed many times for the ability to see it through. Even well-intentioned people like Job's foolish counselors believe that all suffering or sickness is the direct result of sin. Throughout the book of Job, we've seen Job's friends try to convince him that he had done something to displease God, that somehow Job was responsible for the horrible things that had happened to him. But this could not be farther from the truth. Everyone suffers, the righteous and the unrighteous, including Job, who was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. For some reason, God chose to use Job as an example of patience in the midst of great suffering. When something tragic happens, we often scramble to figure out why. Did I sin? Did they sin? If we didn't sin, then who sinned? Like Job's friends, we just want to affix blame so we can make some kind of sense out of the seemingly senseless. But not all suffering is the direct result of sin. Paul's thorn in the flesh was not given to him because he was such a sinner, but because God wanted him to understand something important about suffering. God said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12:9. The simple truth is that God is not constrained to tell us why bad things happen to us, but he will let us know how to walk through them with patience and hope. Yes, Job had some questions he wanted God to answer, but despite his questions, Job could still faithfully proclaim, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Can the same be said of you? Okay, so then we have reflection questions. Have you ever wondered if suffering is the result of sinfulness? We have, has this devotional caused you to rethink your position? Why or why not? Make Job's proclamation personal to your situation. Though he blank, yet I will hope in him. For example, though he allows breast cancer, yet I will hope in him. And then it gives some related readings. We have Job chapter 1, verses 1 through 22, Romans chapter 5, verses 1 to 5, and 2 Corinthians 12, verses 7 to 10. And then we have a quote here from Deborah Evans. "We are not designed to depend upon human ideals, but on God alone as our soul's source of life, strength, shelter, and provision." Okay, so I just wanted to go through a devotional there just so you can get an idea of what's in here and what the tone of some of the devotionals are and how they're laid out. They also have weekend devotionals here. Here's an example of one of those. So you still get the devotional, but for this one you're going to get a prayer, and then it gives you the next page to see your next devotional reading, gives you some assigned readings, and then gives you a key scripture verse there. So they're laid out pretty similar. There's a couple subtle differences. There's no reflection questions on the weekend devotions. Instead, they have some required reading. So I just really like how this Bible's laid out. I think it's really easy to read and easy to follow the plans and the devotionals. And you can choose to go through the whole Bible using the devotionals, or you can skip around based on what you're reading at the time, or for topical purposes, if you're looking for a specific topic of devotional, you can do that. So there's several ways you could use this Bible and enjoy it. So we're in the New Testament now, and you can see that this is a black letter text. Let's go ahead and skip to the back here. All right, so then at the end of Revelation, we are going to see a table of weights and measures. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of reading plans here. So I won't page through all of them, but I will just kind of go through the table of contents here so you know what's in there. We're going to have 1 year through the Bible, a 60-day overview of the Bible, 30 days for beginning your walk with Christ, 30 days with Jesus, 30 days in the Psalms, 30 days in Proverbs, 20 not-so-famous Bible stories, 30 days with Paul, 30 days of promises, 30 days of leadership, 30 days of prayer, 30 days of knowing God, and 30 stories of great faith. So there's several plans here. As you can see, you can go through the Bible in a year, or you can choose one of the 30-day monthly plans, which I plan to go through all of those, especially the 20 not-so-famous Bible stories sounds really interesting. 30 days with Jesus is always great to read about Jesus. I'm always interested in Paul as well, so 30 days with Paul. Yeah, it just sounds really interesting there. And I'm actually already going through a Bible in a year currently, so I'm probably not going to do that one yet, but I'm really interested in doing those other 30-day plans. And just so you can see what the plans look like, they have the day, the 1 year Bible plan gives you the day, the passage, and then a box to check off. And then same format pretty much for the others. It gives you a theme, and then it gives you the passage to read, and then you can check off the boxes if you choose to do so. seems like there's also some others back here too. I see, I'm not sure, I don't remember reading some of these. 30 days, yes, I did those. Maybe I'm just not remembering what I just said. I didn't remember 30 stories of great faith or knowing God, but I probably said it and just don't remember. Anyway, mom brain. But we have acknowledgments back here. We have contributor biographies. So you can see who contributed to the Bible and a little more about them. And then we're going to have a subject index. So like I was saying, if you're interested in a certain subject or topical study, you could use this and go back through the Bible using that. And I believe that's it. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, that is the end of the Bible then. And then we get this beautiful paste down liner again. So I love devotional Bibles. If you've watched my channel too, I really love women's Bibles. I have a lot of them. So I've read through a couple of them. This is one that I'm not going to go through the Bible in a year right now, only because I'm already doing that with a different Bible. However, I'm really excited for the 30-day and 60-day plans back here in the back of the Bible. I plan to do all of those and use this Bible also as part of my devotional time. So this one is, again, just to review here, the NIV Women's Devotional Bible. It comes in large print, and it also comes in the normal font. And I apologize, my daughter just decided to totally shake the table while I'm recording, so sorry about that to end the video here. But this one is from Zondervan, recently released. Definitely check it out.